Who's over me? This is for Joseph, and welcome to News I Deem Worthy Recap, weekly edition number 2. This episode starts from the headlines for the Sunday, 4th of June 2023 to Saturday, 10th of June 2023. If you want to have a background on what I do and the gist of it all, you can watch the first episode or the description in the first and second videos. So get ready for the news and news stuff. These are the news headlines for Sunday the 4th of June 2023. Groups against land reclamation projects voice out. Taal volcano spews white smoke, PHIVOLCS alert level 1. And 1 million food stamps program by DSWD. Groups against land reclamation projects voice out. Numerous groups voice concerns and dismay to numerous land reclamation projects that affect the natural, marine, human, and economical advantages for the locals of said projects. Now, if I'm to be asked about this, the most popular populist thing I could say is protect the environment, protect the fishermen. However, many of these land reclamation projects, which if had done their due diligence and environmental impact assessment and offsetting, would be overall good for the entire economy. Sure, there will be downsides, but the Philippines is ranked 8th largest fish producing nation according to DAR-BFAR in 2020. The disruption of fisheries could be offsetted by opportunities for a lot more, probably even transitioning to a few mechanized and efficient forms of fishing, while those that couldn't could become industrial workers instead of staying in the dirt poor, backwards agri-fisheries sector. Taal volcano spews white smokes, PHIVOLCS alert level 1. The Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology announced nearby regions and municipalities near Taal volcano and Taal Lake to stay at alert level 1 after spewing white smoke for an extended period of time. 1 million food stamp program by DSWD. DSWD is set to launch food stamp program for 1 million poorest of the poor Filipinos. Each cardholders of the food stamp program would receive 3,000 of credit to be spent with partner grocery store nationwide. They're set to have a mechanism to monitor what the cards actually bought. The foods bought up by the card shall be up to a certain threshold of nutritionality, or else this will be spent unwisely. DSWD USAC claims the need for 40 billion peso budget for the first year implementation of the social welfare program. The program will first have a dry run among notoriously underdeveloped and overdeveloped regions all over the country. These are the news headlines for Monday the 5th of June 2023. Taal volcano spews white smoke, PHIVOLCS alert level 2. New DND and DOH Secretary, veterans at the job. Israeli Foreign Affairs Minister visit the Philippines. Diokno aims to be on selling spree at 2.5 billion peso. Taal volcano spews white smoke, PHIVOLCS alert level 2. The Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology announced nearby regions and municipalities near Taal volcano and Taal Lake to stay at alert level 2 after spewing white smoke for an extended period of time. Yes, I repeated it. The new DND and DOH Secretary, veterans at the job. Gilberto Gibo Teodoro Jr. has sworn in to PBBM as the Secretary of National Defense, previously serving as the DND Secretary under former President Gloria Arroyo from 2007 to 2009 after almost a year of vacancies and us being served with acting OICs or officers in charge. Almost a month after the 1-year ban for cabinet appointments of losing candidates after Teodoro failed to grab a Senate race, placing 15th in the 12-seat race, garnering around 13 million of the vote. While Herbosa, after a long-awaited appointment amid the COVID-19 debacle, PBBM chose Dr. Teddy Herbosa as the Department of Health Secretary, who served as the 2010 to 2015 Health Undersecretary under Aquino, and an advisor for the NTF for COVID-19 pandemic. Like the DND office, after almost a year of vacancies and us being served with acting OICs and Undersecretary, he is considered a largely controversial figure due to the questionable statements in jest or in seriousness, especially during the pandemic community pantry debacle and his statements regarding such acts. Israeli Foreign Affairs ministers visit the Philippines. The Minister for Foreign Affairs of Israel visited the Philippines for bilateral talk. The minister shed light on hope of a direct flight from the Philippines to Tel Aviv, probably finding more allies and upping their PR campaign to defend what's happening in Israeli-occupied Palestinian lands, and to strengthen bilateral trade between the two nations, targeting $1 billion in trade, though most likely just going to widen the trade deficit of the Philippines, considering Israel exports more than it imports from the Philippines. Diokno aims to be on selling spree valued at 2.5 billion pesos. Department of Finance Secretary Benjamin Diokno does what every capitalist profit-driven government official does: sell government assets valued over 2.5 billion pesos. Have we already not learned that the purpose of a government-provided service was to first serve the people and elevate their experience and not profit? It's okay if indirectly the programs don't give an immediate profit for the next quarter. think long term, you guys. Don't go around selling stuff to private companies, especially if it's of utmost important producer of goods or services. We can't afford to outsource the management of something important to our people, no matter how unprofitable it is. If the masses gain from it in some other way, it will be an offset. If the finances are the problem, make it efficient. There isn't any incentive a corporation that a government can't have, whether that be economically, fiscally, or politically. These are the news headlines for Tuesday, 6th of June, 2023. Inflation eases from 6.6% last April to 6.1% this May. Graft case filed against DA Undersecretary. NBI recommends cases to DOJ against MT Princess Empress. Manila Central Post Office fire, an accident. Inflation eases from 6.6% last April to 6.1% in May. According to the Philippine Statistics Authority, inflation continues to ease down to 6.1% this May 2023, down 0.5% from April 2023, but still 0.7% higher last year. Graft case filed against DA Undersecretary. Numerous organizations filed case of graft against Department of Agriculture Undersecretary due to controversial questionable moves regarding sugar smuggling importation being authorized without the sugar order. However, the Sugar Regulatory Board defends the DA Undersecretary, citing low production of sugar in the country to be devastating. NBI recommends cases to DOJ against Reield, PCG, and MARINA. The NBI recommends cases to DOJ against MT Princess Empress's owner, PCG, and MARINA. Cases include use of falsification of documents and perjury to the nature and length of service of the boat, which, in recent investigations, shows it was only repaired and rebranded in Navotas as new. An unauthorized shipyard in Navotas was busted conducting repairs and rebrand old ships with new paint jobs. The oil spill by the MT Princess Empress oil tanker costed an estimated 9.5 billion pesos in environmental destruction, excluding disruption of life in Teodoro. DFP, Manila Central Post Office fire, an accident. According to the Bureau of Fire Protection, fire that engulfed the Manila Central Post Office, a historical building in Manila due to its grand neoclassical architecture and rehabilitation after the World War II bombings, was deemed an accident. It's estimated the destruction of fire is valued at least 300 million pesos. Renovation talks now on the way. New Director General of TESDA, Suharto Mangudadatu. PBBM appoints former Sultan Kudarat Governor Suharto Mangudadatu as TESDA's Director General. These are the news headlines for Wednesday, 7th of June, 2023. DND Secretary Teodoro's mandate, pension management, Laila de Lima bail petition refused, and DOH Secretary's Herbosa's mandate. DND Secretary Teodoro's mandate, pension management. According to DND Secretary Gibo Teodoro, PBBM's marching orders to restructure and manage pensions of the military and uniformed personnel. Though I feel like their pension structure should be just like the civilian. I'm not disrespecting our patriots. However, the fund is losing money and would be gone by 6 years if the bleeding is not stopped, according to Marcos himself. DOH Secretary Herbosa's mandates. Secretary Ted Herbosa to focus upon national health, tuberculosis cases, HIV in the youth, teenage pregnancy, just compensation to healthcare workers to combat brain drain or professionals leaving the country, and universal healthcare. Laila de Lima bail petition refused. The Muntinlupa Regional Trial Court refused to grant bail to former Senator Laila de Lima. The appeal was filed after a certain hostage taking in Camp Crame happened last. The court believes the hostage taking of the former senator was an isolated case and that the presumption of guilt is very strong. Though it should be noted that the two other cases was thrown out against De Lima. Hashtag free Laila de Lima now. 6 years of detention under agitated resident after confrontation of CHR's De Lima and former mayor of Davao City, Rodrigo Duterte. These are the news headlines for Thursday, 8th of June, 2023. National simultaneous earthquake drill in full swing. Teodoro, UP-DND Accord stays dead. Ex-Senate Presidents Drilon and Soto urges Senate to back down. National simultaneous earthquake drill in full swing. LGUs and other government agencies participated in a live national simultaneous earthquake drill to prepare for likely devastating and overdue earthquake. The simulation envisioned a 7.2 magnitude earthquake. Can I just say this? These simultaneous earthquake drills aren't the hyped up preparation classes they hype it up to. Even the officials stay at this stage to duck, cover, and hold. This is purely ceremonial and most likely declarative because it will look good, but in cases where there may be a real earthquake, I don't think these will be appropriately and timely applied. At least the officials. I understand and know that a lot of our EMT personnel do take this seriously, but it just looks bad when the officials sit there while also pretending this is a state-of-the-art simulation. According to PHIVOLCS, the effect of a magnitude 7.2 earthquake, if it hits at night, is around 60,000 dead and 120,000 missing in NCR, Central Luzon, and Calabar Zone. Teodoro, UP-DND Accord stays dead. According to DND Secretary Teodoro, the UP-DND Accord stays dead amid push for revitalization and renegotiation. The UP-DND Accord is an agreement way back in 1989 that keeps military and law enforcement officers from entering UP campuses without justification and prior notification for the sake of educational liberty with no risk of expulsion. The accord was terminated in 2021, which sparked outrage not only in the UP community but also among many beneficiaries of the accord's groundbreaking precedence of students' liberty without looming fear of unjustified retaliation from the military. Ex-Senate Presidents Drilon and Soto urges Senate to back down. Ex-Senate Presidents Franklin Drilon and Tito Soto urges the Senate to back down the energized spree due to PBBM's certification of the bill as urgent, passing Maharlika Investment Fund Act, and revise the details that could be struck down by the Supreme Court in a judicial review. These are the news headlines for Friday, 9th of June, 2023. NAIA Terminal 3 brownout, voluntary national learning camps of DepEd, and April employment increase. NAIA Terminal 3 brownout. NAIA Terminal 3 experienced a blackout after equipments were left behind while an audit was taking place for replacements and upgrades, most probably due to the December 31 and other similar instances of NAIA Terminal brownouts. The timing is opportune and incredibly timely when the terminals was said to be privatized or PPP, public-private partnership, in maintenance, renovation, and operation, costing around 150 billion pesos according to DOTR, a burden by the government that could not be bared by anyone. That's really good timing for the proponents of the sellout. Coincidence? I think not. Voluntary National Learning Camps of DepEd. DepEd plans to launch national learning camps from July 24 to August 25 from first grade to senior high school of their jurisdiction. The program aims to revise the students and teach them further of topics that may be insufficiently taught through time constraints and other factors that plague the education sector during the summer break. PSA, April employment increased. According to a recent statistic by the Philippine Statistics Authority, unemployment went down after a 707,000 or a 0.3% increase in labor participation and up to 2.43 million or 1.2% increase in April 2022. Yet wages are still stagnant, showing our overworked and underpaid population, not to mention underemployment and jobs/skill mismatch. According to PSA's Facebook page, the unemployment rate went down to 4.5% or 2.26 million unemployed Filipinos over the age of 15. Though why are they including 15-year-olds? These are the news headlines for Saturday, 10th of June, 2023. Bagyong Chedeng continues to ravage archipelago. PCG to buy drones from Australia, Czechia, Germany, and Israel. Juan Luna's masterpiece Holy Grail found. Marcos' sister disappointed amid passing of the Maharlika bill. Bagyong Chedeng continues to ravage archipelago. This is a long neglected story, but Typhoon Guchol, or its local name Bagyong Chedeng, continues to ravage the Philippine archipelago. It is estimated that the typhoon, even after leaving the Philippines' area of responsibility, will continue to bring in southwest monsoon or habagat, which will bring more rain to the country. At least our water supply will stabilize. Bagyong Chedeng is the third tropical cyclone of the expected 20 to 25 typhoons that regularly appears through the Philippines' area of responsibility. Philippine Coast Guard to buy drones from Australia, Czechia, Germany, and Israel. The Philippine Coast Guard plans to buy from numerous offering vendors of drones to secure our maritime borders even further and bolster modernization and intelligence gathering of the Coast Guard. The drone selling offers are from Australia, Czechia, Germany, and Israel. Juan Luna's masterpiece, Holy Grail, found. More than 100 years has passed since the last time the public saw hero Juan Luna's masterpiece, which was given the title of the Holy Grail of the Philippine Arts, entitled Hymen o Hymeni, which depicts a Roman wedding which won a bronze medal in Paris, France in 1899, and is now on display in Ayala Museum in Makati. Marcos' sister disappointed amid passing of Maharlika bill. Senator and presidential sister Imee Marcos publicized her disappointment regarding the rush job done by the Senate, bereaving any questions regarding the nature of the investment fund proposed by Senator Mark Villar, and the quick adoption of the House of Representatives of the bill. You'd think she'd like it. This may seem weird, however, the Marcoses aim to rehabilitate the Marcos name, and this kind of rush job only solidifies the animosity against their family name. The Marcoses would be to blame if this fund, which has a budget of 500 billion pesos, were to be littered with graft and mishandling of funds. She said there's a lot of stuff to iron out regarding the bill. If we can recall it, she was absent in the voting of the bill as it was conducted in the middle of the dawn around 2:30 a.m. when it will be noticed that Senator Imee Marcos, along with Senator Aquilino Coco Pimentel and Senator Francis Cheese Escudero, was absent. I was perplexed when I realized the first series' next episode wouldn't start on a Monday and ended on the Sunday. The reason I'm sticking with this schedule is because I don't do much on a Sunday for the very reason it's Sunday. Even with classes on Sunday for my first year in university, there isn't much I need to be attentively doing, so I ended up doing episodes on a Saturday. Salamat sa panonood mga kabay. Avoid me, like this video, subscribe, and follow my links in socials at Avoid Joseph that will be linked down below. Suggest some more topics and or corrections to the news if you feel I misrepresented them in any way. This video purely serves as a summarization of news I deem worthy for myself, hence the name. Susunod muli, paalam.